Hello, this is the Wow Lifestyle Show. Today we are discussing everything you need to know about the ketogenic diet. And I have with me here a clinical dietitian, Stephen Norte. He's the CEO of Nutrition Life Company Limited. My beautiful hair, makeup, and nails were done by AJ Hair and Makeovers. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. They are located at East Legon, Oponglo. They are in the same building as EcoBank. My costume was beautifully designed by Loretta Unisex Designs. You can also find their numbers on the screen. They are located at Kokomlemle, East Legon, and Osu. Many thanks to Aliza Hotel where we record. Affordable luxury is what you get. We're going for a quick break. We'll be right back.
A brave African queen fought many battles to protect her family from hungry mosquitoes that may carry malaria parasites. Until one day, she discovered something new.
Discover new Raid Day and Night, 3 sprays on 1 poster for 24-hour mosquito protection for the whole family. The future of mosquito protection is here. The revolution will be peaceful. Raid Day and Night. It's good to be tough.
SC Johnson, a family company.
Introducing Cerelac Biscuity, the new baby cereal from Cerelac, with a great new biscuity taste that babies absolutely love. And of course, it's fortified with iron to support babies' healthy growth, just like all the other nutritious Cerelac flavors. Cerelac, big nutrition for small tummies.
I love the new look of my favorite Nivea black and white deodorant. Same reliable double protection against sweat and against stains. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on my white clothes. Proven 48-hour protection with the new look black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Welcome back. We are discussing what you need to know about the ketogenic diet. Stephen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You know, some weeks back, we discussed the ketogenic diet. We looked at background. I'm sure some of our viewers were not able to watch. It's actually available on YouTube, so they can connect on ONCGH. But let's try to remind ourselves or our viewers what the ketogenic diet is.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Elena. I think just to get a basic understanding of what keto diet is, keto diet is a diet that is generally high in fat, moderate in protein, and very low in carbohydrates. You know, the funny thing is that sometimes you meet somebody in town. Hey, I'm on a keto diet, and you tell the person that, okay, tell me what you're doing on the keto diet, and you realize that what they are talking about to be keto diet is not keto at all.
A typical keto.
Yeah. So there's this little misconception about what a keto diet is and how it relates to our typical Ghanaian diet. You know, typically in Ghana we do more of a carbohydrate base, a moderate protein, and some amount of fat. Yeah, and that's because we have the rationale that the body uses carbohydrate as the major source of fuel.
Right.
And when that happens, the brain is able to get enough, the body part is able to get energized. What happens in keto diet is that you are now trying to replace the body's ability to use carbohydrate as the major source of fuel with fats.
Okay.
So the body then in the liver breaks down fat to produce ketone bodies. Now, when ketone bodies increase in concentration in the body, the brain is now able to use them. So now ketones become the major fuel source for the body. Now, the funny thing is that it's not a new thing. It's been there in the system for long. It's been used to treat some diseases. Last time we talked about epilepsy.
Okay.
But quite recently, people are seeing the benefit of keto diet in weight loss, but also...
And not just to remind our viewers, that not the typical keto diet. It's not like what they are looking at. But I think before we go on, you talk to some people. When they say keto, for those you have talked to, what is usually the composition? How is it like?
Typically they have a high amount of fat. So things that are high in fat, oils, the nuts, and things that they do. And a lot of protein, moderate amount of protein. The thing about moderate is that it can be moderate for you, but not moderate for me. But the issue here is the portion of carbohydrates that people are taking. You see, in a very good keto diet, the carbohydrate amount should be between 20 grams to 100 grams. Now, a typical, let's say 50 grams. 50 grams is very small. Even when you have a lot of vegetables, you may not be able to get the
50
50 grams because you not be full. But people on keto diet do a lot of things with vegetables, and because it's veggies, it's okay. But vegetables also do have carbohydrates. The good thing is that people on keto diet maybe avoid some starchy carbohydrates and other things, which are starchy vegetables, should I say, which are also.
Do you say they avoid?
They avoid. Some they don't take maybe carrot, maybe potato, some of them because of its high carbohydrate content. But they may use other vegetables, broccoli or some others to add up to make it for their carbohydrate. But here's the thing about the quantity to make it keto is very small that in a normal or typical Ghanaian diet, you may not be able to keep up to it.
Okay, so let's give our viewers an idea of the right or the typical keto diet. So if we're saying this is a typical keto diet, this is how much vegetables we should get, this is how much fats we should get, this is how much carbs we should get.
Yes.
The typical one that we know.
Yeah, that brings the issue, which I think is good that we are doing this part too, because you see, what may be the right amount of carbohydrate for your keto diet may not be the same. Because first of all, we need to start the basic. When I assess you, we know your weight, we know the weight you want to achieve. Then we break your macronutrient, I'm talking about carbohydrate, protein, and maybe fat, into a proportion that will help us achieve the goal. Now, for every person, the amount of carbohydrate, the amount of protein, fat may be different. So it will be very erroneous to give a standard to match everyone. So that's why in general dietetic practice, there's a range, 20 grams to about 100 grams.
Right.
Yeah.
So people have to understand that it's not the same for everyone.
Exactly.
Because what people do is that, for example, if it's meant for a weight loss program, so for example, there is a page that everyone is on, like a keto page that everyone is on and people post. Yeah. So the recommendations are not individual specific.
Exactly.
It's just general. And that's why some people may begin to experience some side effects.
Exactly.
For example, I was talking to someone and she was like, okay, yeah, keto was good for me, but I realized I was having some side effects. It looked like I was having a problem with my kidneys and all that, so she had to pause.
Exactly.
So probably one of the challenges is the fact that it's not individual specific because they're not even assessed nutritionally.
That's the thing. Screening
they just start.
Assessment before the recommendation is made. So if you just do that because you've seen it, it's to the best, it may be like a very low carbohydrate diet, and maybe to the extreme, it may be just like any other fat diet.
Right.
Yeah, but we will know that there are good and there are negative aspects, which we can see later.
Okay. So what could be the pros and cons of the ketogenic diet?
That's cool. We can just break it down into the social-cultural effect or psychosocial aspect, which are good, the pros. Because with the upside in keto diet, I've seen people taking advantage of the nutrition information available and taking ownership of their own diet, which is a good thing. People are now exercising self-discipline, which is awesome. And you can even see people trying to reduce what I call over-medication of lifestyle diseases. So some things are lifestyle diseases. You need lifestyle modification. But people subscribe to all kinds of drugs. But with upside of some of these things, people know if I can change my lifestyle, I can make improvement. And those are some of the good things. We also know that from research, we are seeing that keto is now giving some positive benefits with regards to biomarkers, which is, I'm talking about something like your blood pressure, maybe your blood sugar level, some of those markers in the body that tells us how healthy you are. And keto is giving us some positive benefits.
Can you share some details about this finding?
For instance, people on keto diet, some studies are showing reduced blood sugar level, reduced blood pressure level. We are even seeing HDL increase. HDL is the good cholesterol in your body. We are seeing increase in them. And even some of the triglycerides decrease. But generally, if you are cutting down carbohydrates in any diet, you should see that benefit. It's not only peculiar to keto diet.
Okay. So I would have wished that we had details about this research. Couldn't there be other things the person was doing which could have accounted or contributed to some of these benefits? Where, for example, we know that once you exercise, it also helps to increase your HDL levels. So do we know if they were doing other things where some of these confounders, were these taken care of and
so
all that?
That's a major challenge of researches that are being carried around keto diet. Number one, they are very limited in number. The number of people used for this study are very small, and the confounders are a lot. Because if you just say that the ADL is increasing because of the diet, it is true, but not exclusively, because there are other factors. So the research has improved, though. Right from, I made a few studies of what have been done over the years, from 2011 until now. The very recent one in the later part of last year, they did a systematic review of a number of studies to see how true these findings are. And the truth is that they catered for some of these confounders, and they realized that keto does help in reducing sugar levels in the way. But the other thing is that
but that's something we already know, because it's actually used for the management of diabetes.
Exactly. So it's a low-carb diet. So generally, you will see that positive effect. But the thing about what keto is being used in the general population, it's not even for diabetes or these conditions, using them to manage these clinical conditions, but more seriously, it's being used for weight loss, reported as a weight loss remedy. And that is the challenge, because we may not get the full benefit if we need to.
Will you change your stance from our previous discussion for weight loss? I we were having a discussion yesterday, and I thought that probably you had changed a bit because of the latest findings that are available.
So certainly, it's not that I've changed from my previous science. If it comes to weight loss, keto does provide excellent results.
Sure.
If you talk about health in general, we are seeing positive benefit. What I said previously was
health, positive benefits. We are talking about diabetes. We are talking about HDL levels. That's cholesterol.
Even we see keto helping in PCOS management, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Some cancers are being treated with that. But so most of these things are done at a very small level. And generally, we don't have a clinical guideline or protocol to follow. So keto is shrouded with a lot of hearsay. I heard. So we are now on that journey to come to a place that we could have a comprehensive guideline to help the general population. If a person still wants to go to keto diet, we are not against it. We just need to screen you, give you the pros and cons, let you understand what you are entering into, and kind of monitor or journey with you along that.
Proper supervision, that's important.
Clinical supervision is key.
Clinical supervision too.
It's key in keto management.
All right. So I think we've talked more about the pros. What about the cons? For example, if we attempt to use it for the management of diabetes, are we 100% safe? Could there still be some side effects?
As I said, we don't have, most of these studies were short-term studies, so we don't know what will happen in the long term. Most of them do not go beyond 2 years, and that's the challenge. Now, for keto, you should be an extremely motivated person to be on keto. You should have some level of education. You should have a very good socioeconomic status, because relatively it's a bit expensive to be on keto. People may disagree, but relatively. But apart from that, some of these things make it a bit it makes it a bit difficult to sit into a cultural setting. You need a lot of social support when you get other people doing it. But if you're in a family that's not what your children are eating, that's not what your husband is eating, it will be kind of difficult trying to keep up with it. And to be very frank with you, in the extreme, or in the strictest sense of the word, keto is not a balanced diet. For what we know to be a balanced diet, keto doesn't meet the right proportions of the macronutrients for what we know as a balanced diet.
Well, we will hold it right there and go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Tired of all the old ways of fighting mosquitoes? Discover the new Raid Day and Night. 3 sprays on 1 poster for 24-hour mosquito protection for the whole family. The future of mosquito protection. Raid Day and Night. It's good to be tough.
Memory, coordination, confidence. You put more into your baby's development than you think. And now you can put more into every mealtime. Cerelac combines iron, vitamin C, and probiotics to support physical and mental development. Nestle Cerelac, now with Iron Plus. Big nutrition for small tummies.
I love the new look of my favorite Nivea black and white deodorant. Same reliable double protection against sweat and against stains. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on my white clothes. Proven 48-hour protection with the new look black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Memo Akwaba de Bas Swiss Cafe Restaurant. Aduane bi a wopɛ bia. Say ya brofo de, ana Ghana de. Swiss Cafe Restaurant, eye ni nyina. Kwesi ada biara, buffet papa bi twɛn wɔ Swiss Cafe Restaurant. Wei de serve yourself papa bi. Wodidi na quartet bi so born yompa. Kwesi ada biara sa wopon asɔre a, woni abusua, enamfofo, adɔfo, emra medidi wɔ Swiss Cafe. I want Lisa Hotel, Northridge.
Many Mabusian for dear. Question the beer, your point, sorry. Lisa Hotel nearby, Swiss Cafe, Sunday branch. Or maybe I need dear. Nani board that from.
Welcome back. Are you an institution or group that needs nutrition and health education? Do you need to know your nutritional status? Are you struggling with any diet-related condition like high blood pressure, hypertension, high blood cholesterol, high blood sugar, etc.? Call Optimum Nutrition Care Consult on 050-151-6186. Send your feedback and messages to our Facebook handle at ONCGH, on Instagram at Optimum_Nutrition_Care_GH. Okay, Stephen, we were talking about the keto diet not being a balanced diet. Let's help our viewers. What is a typical balanced diet?
Typically, a balanced diet in our Ghanaian context, we have carbohydrates forming the main base, protein becomes the moderate one, and fat becomes the reduced amount.
So when we say
basically 60
major, let's try and use the percentages. Yeah. So we have a round plate.
A round plate.
We divide into four, for example, or like.
So basically about 50 to 60%. It's made up of healthy carbohydrates.
Okay. And what is healthy carbohydrates?
So healthy carbohydrates, we are talking about things more in fiber, your vegetables and legumes. Legumes are protein, but they contain amount of carbohydrates also. And then protein forms about a quarter, maybe 10 to 20%. You can do that. And fat rather forming about 5%. So in our typical Ghanaian diet, fat should be the reduced amount. But in a keto diet, it's a reverse kind of thing. And it's because you want the body to enter into a state of ketosis where you are not using carbohydrates as your main source of fuel, but you are using fat as your main source of fuel. So that alone puts the body in that state to help you burn more. Because you see, in ketosis, your body's ability to feel hungry is reduced. Your body's ability to burn fat is increased because of the changes in the metabolism of the body.
Okay.
And that actually leads to what we see in keto diets, where people lose weight a lot, especially in the early days of keto. But that, as I said, are some of the downsides to keto. Even that, we have some side effects because you see, for the body to switch from the normal use of carbohydrates to keto, the body needs to go through a process. And usually they call it keto version. You are changing from the normal use to this thing. And that particular transition is usually associated with what we call keto flu. So keto flu, usually it's a condition around that time of transition when people have headaches, stomach, GI conditions, like constipation, diarrhea, discomfort, fatigue, weakness. And if that is not managed well, it can lead to other medical conditions.
I remember I asked Nana this question.
Yeah.
Do people on keto really experience some of these things? I wish that we had someone with an experience to testify to some of these things.
Yes, as you said earlier, if you are not screened properly and you are not following the process properly, you are not even made aware of some of these adverse effects that may come. You may fall prey to the consequence and you may not know what to do. But some people, they do experience, but it's because they've been well informed and they are given the right strategies to use in managing them. The other thing is that most of these conditions are self-limiting, which means they resolve by themselves.
Okay.
So a person might not do anything much, but the illness or the situation goes. So it seems to be just normal.
Okay.
So it's not actually a problem.
And I think once someone has flu, they think it's normal. They may not relate it to.
Yeah. And I think people are psychologically positioned to go through that if you have a very good counseling before that. So they feel like this is just a phase and I might go through it. But that notwithstanding, others too, we have seen that they went through the same and the consequence was dire. So I think it comes back to what we're saying. Proper screening, proper assessment, proper monitoring throughout the process is crucial if a person still wants to go on a keto diet.
How long does it take for one to go into ketosis?
Yeah, that varies from individual to individual. But generally, when a person is restricting carbohydrate intake within 3 days or so, you should be able. So let's say latest by 1 week, a person should be in a ketosis.
1 week. Okay. So I think it's also dependent on what the person was on before. Depending on the change, the extent of change the body is made to transition.
Because of technology, things are advanced. That dietary supplement that people can take and immediately switches you to ketosis. So the timing effect it's no more a big issue now because things are advancing that as far as you can keep your body in ketosis, you're okay to it. But the issue is that people have difficulty staying in ketosis.
What do you mean by people have difficulty maintaining ketosis?
Well, because you see, the initial state is to help you reduce your carbohydrates so much so that the body is not having enough carbohydrate to supply glucose to the body part or body organs. So in that, it switches to use ketones because now you are breaking down fat. Now, that should be a state that is sustained over a period of time to get the effect you want in keto diet. So that if in that process you are not managing your carbohydrate intake well, you end up going in and out of ketosis.
Okay. So you are talking about people who have difficulties committing to what they are supposed to do.
That is why keto diet is for somebody who can be very disciplined. I call them the type A personalities. See, they are well organized, they can manage their intakes, they know what they are about, they are highly committed.
It's not for sanguines. Melancholics. I think that people are trying. Even the sanguines are trying to. Everyone is trying.
I think no matter what the case is, I really believe that if a person still wants to go on keto diet, there are better ways of doing it. Get well assessed, get well monitored, get the right counseling, and get a team of experts who know how to help you to journey through this particular thing.
And even the type of fats. The fact that we are saying it should be high in fat doesn't mean you take any kind of fat.
That's very important.
So the type of fat is
That's
also
very important. That's very important.
All right. So concerning the management of disease, or before we go to that, for a normal person who wants to do keto, is probably choosing the right source of fat. Would you advise that? Or what could be the dangers? And for a normal person who has no diet-related condition and wants to go on keto. The person wants to make it a lifestyle.
A lifestyle, that's fine. So for a person like that who wants to go on keto, my advice is visit the dietitian or the nutritionist or any expert in nutrition for that matter. And we do an assessment. I look at the kind of patient or the kind of person I'm speaking with. I want to look at the level of adherence if the person wants to be on it, because the consequence is dire. So you want to make sure that you can commit to this and you have all these things explained to you. if that is well made, I do an assessment of your body fat, muscle, all those things. It will inform me how much protein you need to be on keto, how much carbohydrates you need, even how much fat is needed. Then I'll recommend to you some fats that may be helpful. There are things generally things that are purported there that you should not take, you should take. This one, don't take it, keto compliant, this is not compliant. Yeah, those are good generally, to have a general idea. But when you see an expert, your peculiar situation is well assessed, and things that you need to add or you need to subtract are kind of personalized. That could help you in the long term. Because you see, the research has shown that the average duration for compliance or adherence is 3 months, 1 to 3 months. Most people cannot be on keto for more than 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, because sustainability is an issue. Like some of the things I've mentioned should also tell you that it's quite a high-risk adventure. Yeah.
Welcome back. On Healthy You segment today, Senna is asking, is keto diet safe? I think that we have kind of answered this question already. So keto diet can be safe depending on what you're using it for. And we are saying that you need clinical supervision when you are on keto diet, because there are a lot of things that come into play. You cannot just start and decide to go on keto diet and say, okay, I need a lot of fat in my diet. So you go about eating foods that are high in fat. The type of fat is important. The type of carbohydrate you're also adding is important. The kind of proteins you're also including in the diet is important. So yes, it can be safe, but you still need proper monitoring from the clinical setting. Okay. So that's about it. Stephen, before we sign off, how does one transition out of a ketogenic diet?
Yeah. I think, see, just as you move from using carbohydrate as your major source to keto, it was a gradual shift. It's important to also have a gradual shift. Usually we say gradually increase to about 150 grams per week. That's grams of carbohydrates. I don't have much time to explain what that means, but in a simple term, I think you should go gradually.
How much is my fist? About how much? It depends on the weight. Because if it's carbohydrates, like vegetables and carbohydrates, they won't weigh the same. So my fist won't be.
And it also depends on the kind of food. If maybe you give me potato, maybe 20 grams of potato will be one small size, kind of thing. Right. Yeah. So it depends on the kind of food. But if you can increase 10 or 15 grams to all your meals, spread across breakfast, lunch, and supper, and gradually build it up to reach about 150 grams over a period of time, it will be helpful. So if it took you 3 months to be on keto, reversing or transition back, it may also take you about 3 months gradually to go back. Okay. So you don't need to be on it for a long time, but see an expert again to help you through the transition. In transition, you need a lot of water. You need to also be taking some of your electrolyte that were recommended for you in the keto phase, and make sure that you are putting all those things in check, because the danger of transition is the problem we call refeeding syndrome, where a person introduces too much carbohydrates and in the process causes some neurological and heart conditions that could have been prevented. So if the person is helping you out, we want to guide you so that you prevent that challenge.
Right. All right, thank you, Stephen. This has been the Wow Lifestyle Show. So nobody is against keto. We just want you to do keto the right way, and it's individual specific. It shouldn't be general for everyone. You need to be assessed in a clinical setup, and we need to be specific about the recommendations for a particular individual. So my beautiful hair, makeup, and nails were done by AJ Hair and Makeovers. Thank you so much. They are located at East Legon, Oponglo. They are in the same building as EcoBank. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. Their numbers are running on the screen. My costume was beautifully designed by Loretta Design. You can find them at Osuko Komlimle and East Legon. Many, many thanks to Alisa Hotel, where we record. Affordable luxury is definitely what you get. Optimum Nutrition Care Consults. If you need nutrition and health education, if you want to assess your nutritional status, if you need to manage any diet-related condition, just call on 050-151-6186. Send your feedback and comments to our Facebook handle, at ONCGH, to our Instagram, Optimum_nutrition_care_GH. Thank you for watching. See you next week.